Hello, hello. Today I wanted to try out the Revlon ColorStay 24-hour long wear foundation. I kind of remember trying this before and not liking it, but Tati Westbrook like raves about it. So I was like, maybe I need to give it another try. So that's what we're gonna do today. Is gotta give it another little try. I got the one for combination skin. I know that they have different ones for like dry skin and for like oily skin. This does have SPF 15 in it. I got shade 300, vitamin E antioxidant defense. So that's cool. So at Target, it is $12.69. It looks like it's pretty much $12.69 across the board. So yeah, I do think that I got just a little bit of a light shade for me. You know, sometimes when you're picking it up in the grocery store, they don't have a lot of options. Whatever, the Target or whatever. So I just washed my face. We're not gonna waste this. We're just gonna take foundation brush and we're just gonna do half the face to see how it covers. I'm not doing like any concealer or anything to see like what kind of coverage we can get out of it. So let's just start blending. So I was testing out like some foundations a while ago, but I just feel like I could never find one that looked natural enough for me. So, you know, we're kind of back on the hunt. All right, so I'll show you guys before I look. Done, and then undone. So I don't know. Let me look. Let me take a look. See, I feel like it looks a little foundation-y on the skin, honestly. Maybe it'll warm up to the skin a little bit. Yeah, it looks pretty foundation-y. Now, I didn't put on any primer, any moisturizer, anything like that, because I just wanted to see how it goes on. Yeah, I'm not loving it. I just feel like it looks kind of heavy. It's just making my skin look kind of dry and a little heavy. I don't know, maybe it'll warm up to skin. I gotta walk doggy. I'm gonna go to the gym. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply to the other side and then we'll see the final result. So if you haven't seen me do this before, I like to take a setting spray and spray it with this like little concealer brush. And then I like to clean up my brows because inevitably you're going to get product on your brows and you don't want them to look crusty. So you could use water, but I just feel like it looks a little bit better. Because then I can touch up the center because foundation usually collects right here in the center. So I can usually like clean that up a little bit and like make it look a little smoother. All right, so this is the final look. I really think that it looks heavy and I'm not digging it. Maybe it's gonna warm up to my skin. Maybe it'll look better. So we're gonna do a little bit of a check-in here in just a little bit and see how we're doing. All right, so I'm back and I have actual clothes on instead of a gym shirt, so that's great. So I have my final thoughts. I've been throughout the day. I took the dog for a walk. I went to the gym and I did a little bit of work and I just sat on a meeting and I just looked in the mirror. It definitely has kind of melded with my skin a little bit. So it looks a little bit better than when I initially laid it down, but it took a while to actually warm up to my skin. So for me, this is just a little too heavy for me. It's definitely keeping me pretty matte, which is nice. And I actually was at Target to grab something, I don't even remember, but I did notice this little stickers covering up the label here, but this is combination to oily. So they have a different version that's combination to dry that I might try, but this is just a little bit too drying for me. It did keep me matte, which I appreciate, but my skin just looks kind of dehydrated and a little cakey. Doesn't really look really natural here in this zone. It looks pretty good on the forehead, but right here, my pore area and underneath my eyes, I don't know. It's just not the right foundation for me. Would I recommend this? I would recommend this if you're super oily and you maybe like a heavier coverage, but I don't tend to go for, what I want is a really light coverage that just makes my skin look better than like my skin but better type situation. So this is just a little bit too heavy, a little bit too drying for me. I don't know if you can see on camera, but it like didn't really want to set right here on the sides of my nose. This is gonna be a no for me. But like I said, if you have really dry skin, you like, if you have really oily skin and you want a little bit more like full coverage, then this might be good for you, but it's gonna be a no for me. Okay, you guys, I'm going to try the Revlon ColorStay again because I was like, I went in dry, so like I didn't put on any moisturizer or anything like that. So I was like, okay, maybe that's why it was so dry on my skin. I don't know, I kind of feel like a product should perform on its own, but we're gonna try it again. So I put it on with like my regular routine, my moisturizer, the Drunk Elephant, the Super Goop sunscreen. So yeah, I feel like it laid down better than it did before. It's still doing weird stuff around my nose. I don't know if that's because my skin is just dry. I try to fix it with the little like setting mist. So it definitely looks better on the initial laydown. So I guess we'll see how it performs throughout the day, and I'll check in with you later to give you a little update and see if we like this better. It's already, I still don't like it because like it's weird around the nose, and like I just don't love the finish. We'll see. Okay guys, I don't know. I'm looking in the mirror. I gave it another shot. I don't like what it's doing around my nose. It was okay for a little bit, for maybe like a couple of hours after I put it on, but like yesterday it was super dry and then it warmed up to my skin a little bit, so it wasn't too bad. But now I don't know. It's just not for me. I gave it a shot and I tried and it's just not for me, and that's gonna be okay. So I just don't even know who I would recommend this for. I just don't really like it. Like if you don't do sunscreen, primer, all that stuff, maybe it would be okay if you have oily skin, because it definitely kept matte yesterday when I didn't have anything on underneath. But this is like how I would truly wear it, with like my primer, sunscreen, my moisturizer. So I don't know. It's just not my vibe. It's just not my vibe. So anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling, and thank you so much for joining me on this one, and hit that subscribe button to check out all the rest of my content. And yeah, I will check you on the next one. Bye.